Hi, I have a question for you. Do you know the difference between buyouts and residuals? Let's talk about it. Hi, today's video is the difference between buyouts and residuals. Pretty easy on this one. A buyout is when you do a project and they buy you out for the entire project. Now this is important. That means they have bought you out for the entire life of the project. Let's think about how this could affect you. Let's say that as a non-union member, you did a project for a local bank and your buyout for that particular project, let's say it was a commercial, was $1,000. And let's say 10 years from now, that commercial is still running for that local bank. You now have a conflict, which means if today you are offered a job by Wells Fargo and you still have a conflict from 10 years ago that you did for that local bank because you took a buyout and they're still running it, you've essentially bought yourself out of that job for Wells Fargo. So think twice when taking something that has a buyout. Now, as a non-union member, that's pretty much what you're going to be offered. So I suggest to you, be very careful about the projects that you say yes to when there is a buyout attached to them. Now let's talk about residuals. Residuals happen generally for union projects and people working under union contracts. Now a residual is a magical thing. I like to refer to it as the gift that keeps on giving. So let's talk about it. Let's say you do a commercial for Pepsi. Good for you, by the way, if you booked a commercial for Pepsi. And let's say that you make your initial $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for Pepsi, which is pretty good. But here's where it gets amazing. Every single time that commercial plays in different markets throughout the United States, even possibly worldwide, you're going to keep getting residuals. They'll keep renewing that commercial. And that's where the real money can start rolling in. Yes, that initial $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 sure is great money, but let's talk about the $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $100,000 down the road that you'll be collecting. Everyone knows the "can you hear me now" guy. Can you hear me now? Millions of dollars later, took a break for a few years, and now he's the guy for Sprint. So in conclusion, I would say to you, whether you take a buyout or whether you are offered something with residuals, always, always, always look at the fine print.